Hi, friends. Welcome to Booking Through Life. I'm Mary, and we're going to chat April TBR. How did your March go, and how is your April? How do you think your April is kind of shaping up? I wasn't sure what book reading challenges were going to be happening this month, and last month I decided I'm just going to study the course, and instead of not making my reading goals and then ditching them and starting a new month afresh with whole new goals, I was going to press through my February goals and into March, and now it's going to go into April, and we'll see if I can get caught up. There was a couple of reading challenges that I might try to dip into. One was it was a picture book challenge, and it has to do with books that really are picture dependent and really looking at illustrators. And I love that. So I really wish I would be delving into that a little bit more, and maybe I will. We'll see. I think Jack at Spreads Book Joy might be Spreads Book Joy. I think she's one of them. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied. I think she's one of the hosts. I'll look that up and have that down in the description box. And then Kat at Kat's Novel Adventures, along with a slew of other hosts, are doing a nostalgic April. It's let's see, I think I have the name of it. Old School April. So it's kind of books that happened between the 70s and maybe early to 2000s, and so kind of those nostalgic books maybe that you grew up with in your childhood. And they seem to have a little bit of a focus on horror, like Goosebumps and magic, and things of that sort. And I used to read that type. I don't read that type of books anymore. So and they do have some, like mood read, and it could be horror, but anything set in this time period. So I think you can really adapt it to your tastes. So I was going to try to see if any of mine fit in those categories, just to be supportive, especially to be supportive of my friend Kat at Kat's Novel Adventures. But go check out her announcement video. I'll link it below because it's really a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun. I highly recommend checking out her channel if you haven't already. Anyway, so what am I doing? What am I doing for April? So there's going to be a little bit of deja vu. And a little bit of new. I think I said that last time. That might be my theme for the year. Deja vu and a little bit of new. So the first book I want to talk about is the Fomo Club, which is hosted by Alice at Alice's Giant Bookshelf, Gemma at Gem of Books, and Jack at Spreads Book Joy. And we're reading Goodnight, Mr. Tom. And I was hoping to read this last month because it was middle grade March, but I just didn't get to it. I also kind of had it on the back burner because they give you 2 months to read the book. And generally I like to read it in the second month so that it's more fresh when we have our book discussion. So, and I hear this is kind of a tearjerker. So I'm looking forward to that. That's on a must read this month. And then another must read is Miriam at Miriam Reads. She and I are going to buddy read A Fatal Grace by Lewis Penny. This is the second in the Inspector Gamache series, and we've been talking about it for a few months. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into the Three Pines area in this series and seeing what more is in store for Inspector Gamache. So yeah, I'm really excited that I started this series. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, so that's a must read. Another must read is Art at Art's Bookshelf Odyssey is hosting Gaskell in April. And the there's a number of prompts. I'm probably only going to do the buddy read or the group read, and that's North and South, which will be a reread for me. And I'm hoping to get an audio version of this and read it with the audio version, because I had a little bit of problem with the dialect of the cotton workers, and so I'm thinking maybe that will help. Either that, or if I get an annotated copy of it. But I'm really looking forward to this. It's one of my favorite Gaskell novels and a favorite novel, and I love the BBC adaptation with Richard Armitage. Is very good, so I'm looking forward to watching that as well. Super excited about that. And if I miraculously have some extra time, which I know I won't, I'll read some more Gaskell. And some of hers are pretty hefty, so we'll see about that. Then I'm also part of Kate Howe's Kindred Spirits, and this month is the book we're reading is Excellent Women. I will probably buy that from Kindle and read it on my new Kindle that I got for my birthday, and I'm only just beginning to read a book on my first book on it. I was kind of saving it for vacation, but that's not until the end of July, so it's kind of a shame to have a Kindle and not use it. So I'll have a little floating book here of what the book looks like, and I have no idea what it's about, so I'm looking forward to reading that, because they've been really good books. I was trying to think if there was one I didn't. Oh yeah, February's I didn't really care for too much, but so far they've been hits. Then the other challenge that I'm involved with this year is read your book. Let's start over again. The other challenge that I'm involved with during the whole year of 2023 is Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, hosted by Chantel Reads All Day. And last month I read the book Entwined, and each month has something is related to the month before. So this month's challenge is to read a different genre. So this was fantasy, so you can read anything that's not a fantasy. You could even say this is YA fantasy, so read anything that's not a YA fantasy, or that's not YA or a fantasy, and a fantasy. So all of my books I think all of my books are not fantasy. So any of those could fit for this, and I will double up on this one. I'm not going to read a separate one that's just for that. So I don't know which one I will count, but I will decide that at some point. Then I was doing the Around the World in 80 Days challenge, hosted by Miriam at Miriam Elizabeth Reads, Holly at A Lovely Day with Holly, and someone else. And again, down in the description box. And so I started a little bit late, and I decided that I really want to read these books, so why put them back on my shelf and try to finish them another time? That's where I'm really trying to push myself to finish books that I intend to read. And if I don't get to them in that month, I will continue into the next month. So you've probably seen most of these again before, but we're going to look at them again. So for China, I'm going to read Peony and Love by Lisa C. I don't know much about any of these books. Andrew Miller's Pure is set in France, so I'll be going to France, and I have read only one book by him, and I love his writing style. I hope it will be similar, so I'm really looking forward to that book. And then Reese Bowen, who I love her Royal Spinus series. I've read one of her standalones. I wasn't super crazy about it, so I'm giving her another chance and going to Italy with The Tuscan Child. And then Miriam talked about this book, and I think she also has read it and gave it a good review. And I really do love the cover. It's called Sweet Bean Paste by Durian Sukagawa, and it's set in Japan. So yeah, so I think I may only have two countries left, and that might be Yemen and Egypt. And I don't have a book picked out for either one of those. I'm thinking maybe for Yemen, I am Najul, I think is the name of it, written by Najul somebody. And it's kind of a hard story about a young girl who is a bride at the age of 10. So I'm really interested in reading that book. I might get that on my Kindle. And then Egypt, I need to come up with a book. So if you have a recommendation for a book in Egypt, let me know down below. I might not get to it till next month because this is a bit of a stack. And then another book that I might get to if I have time is Anne's House of Dreams. It's book 5 in the Anne of Green Gables series. I DNF'd as of now. I've DNF'd book 4. But this looks like it has a little bit more of a storyline. Anne and Gilbert are exchanging vows, and then they're bound for a new life on the shores of Four Winds Harbor, and they're making new friends, and different things happen. So yeah, it sounds like it's more of a storyline. So I think I might like this a little bit better. I'm really hoping for another book that's either up to or almost up to how I feel about Anne of Green Gables. So that's kind of it. I know Emily Henry has a new book coming out this month. I may end up doing a turn and picking that up because I did enjoy, what was it called? Book Lovers. I did enjoy Book Lovers so much. So we'll see what holds, unless that will end up being a May book. May seems like a good month for romance. So anyway, that's it. That's my April TBR pile of possibilities, hopes and dreams. Let me know in the comments what you're hoping and dreaming about book-wise. If you have any suggestions for Egypt, how did your March go? Yeah, anything you want to chat about, let's chat. That's it. Until next time, I hope all your books are good books, and I'll see you again soon. Toodaloo!